What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon. Hit that like button, subscribe, and thank you all for being here. It is the 21st day of February, and here we are sitting at about $566 with roughly 7 hours and 30 minutes left in the day. You guys, we've done it twice now. We saw exactly what we needed to see. I don't know why Bitcoin Cash is teasing us so much, but man, I'm going to be so disappointed. I don't even know if disappointed is the right word. Annoyed? I don't know what word would be appropriate. If we come back down here again, I'll tell you what, guys. If we come back down here again, the statistical probability of going lower to those targets that we had addressed yesterday would definitely go up. But man, the fact that we wicked down here twice to find support right at prior resistance, and we found it, guys. We literally had a higher daily close yesterday after getting to these lows. I think this is a good sign. I really do think this is a good sign. So that's nice to see. Again, I'm still thinking that Bitcoin will come down and see a lower low. So I am curious to see how Bitcoin Cash will react with that. If Bitcoin's going to come down and see a lower low, might it be acceptable then to expect Bitcoin Cash to come down? And maybe it does. Certainly, I don't expect Bitcoin Cash to go below this low. We could go below these lows. We could go below these lows. That's not the call right now. Right now, the call, and the reason why I'm explaining this at all, is for me, I'm expecting Bitcoin to go down. Maybe it finds a higher low. Maybe it finds a lower low. But simultaneously, I'm expecting Bitcoin Cash to go up, because looking at this chart just by itself, taking Bitcoin out of context entirely, looking at Bitcoin Cash by itself alone, this is positive. This is good. This is exactly what you need to see to validate that you will be moving to the upside. You literally had two fake out attempts to the downside. You found support right at prior resistance. It's perfect. And the reaction afterwards, it's exactly what you want to see. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame. We'll zoom out from there and we'll just see how well this looks, how good this looks or bad this looks. Let's see. A little bit of volume coming in here, you guys. It's really good to see. I don't even know what to make out of this, man. I mean, is it fair to be bearish here? Maybe a little bit. We're getting some volume, right? We're getting a selling candle. Maybe we come down, but at this point, I'm reluctant to call for any prices that would be lower than these lows. Tell you what, if we get below these lows, we get below like $540 again. At that point, then I think it becomes acceptable only when or if we get below $540 again. At that point, it becomes acceptable to consider 515 to 496 to 478. I mean, what we're doing here, I guess I was bullish, wasn't I? I was bullish. We were calling for a bounce because all the indicators looked like they were going to bounce. For a second there, I thought I was bearish. I forgot what my call was yesterday, but I think I'm pretty sure I was bullish. Pretty sure we were calling for a bounce yesterday anyways. We got it. It was exactly what we needed to be. Holding this 236, you guys, right there at the red line, this is why $540 is important, because if we break that, 515 to 467 becomes a possibility. And what we're doing here, I mean, just looking at this and speaking as plainly as I can, I think we're about to rally, guys. I think we are about to send it above $600. There's a chance, my friends, and there's a very strong chance right now that we could see that $600 close by the end of this month, that we could even close higher than that. We might, who knows how high we could go. Guys, it's the 21st of February. In the next week, we could be closing above $700. That's how exciting this kind of action is right now. Maybe we don't. Maybe we close lower than we are now. Maybe we only close around 600, boohoo, whatever. But the possibility to get a higher monthly close than what we've had in the last 7 months, 8 months, is awesome, right? The highest monthly close out of this range, we have. It's not just sorry, I said the possibility is awesome. Sorry, it's there. There's a strong chance right now. It's not just awesome. It's not just great. It's that the fact that this possibility has a decent chance to happen. It's actually got a likelihood to happen is pretty incredible. Especially because we have the lowest price that we've seen in this whole range here. And if we can close above that line, we simultaneously have the lowest price while the highest closing price in the same month. That's awesome. That's spectacular, let alone the structure that we're forming. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame. We'll zoom out from there, okay? 1 hour time frame here. RSI rejecting the overbought zone. That's no good. That's no fun. But whatever. Now, at this point, with our RSI, we're at the 50, which is a great area to find support. We have lower lows than all these lows while providing higher lows in the price. It's hidden bullish divergence. Yes, there's a lot of volume here. We got more volume at the lows, though, man, pumping up the price. So I'm not really worried about it at all. Stochastics have reset themselves. Well, maybe not entirely, but they're getting there. Right. Again, the idea here from $566 and going down, we absolutely can go down from here, but we likely find support. I doubt at this point that we go below $550, but as long as we're above 540, I don't really care. We will go all the way down to 542, whatever. You know, it doesn't matter. As long as we're above 540, I really don't have a problem with this. And I think that however low we go, we will recover and we will come up. I think it's time to call a spade a spade. The 1 hour MACD is a little bit peculiar here. I wouldn't call it bearish divergence. It is bullish overall, but it's kind of odd. Maybe cool off. Again, 1 hour time frame, rest of the day, maybe we do cool off. Maybe even tomorrow, right, for the rest of the weekend, we cool off. But I think this is setting us up for a very nice and exciting week ahead. We'll see. We're at prior points right now where we are. Prior points of resistance throughout this whole range. So if we don't go lower, if instead, by the time you guys watch this, if we're up at prices, let's say, you know, like in the next 4 or 5 hours, we're up at like 570, we might be breaking out today. You guys, we might close above $600 by the end of this week. But what I'm thinking is that we'll probably continue to consolidate here. Sunday, Monday comes along, whatever, and then we start to break out. That's probably what's going to happen. The RSI rejecting the overbought zone. I mean, overall, again, your RSI does look bullish. I don't like that you're rejecting the overbought zone, but you are bullish, man. And you're doing the right things in the right places, right? We're finding support right here, literally right. It couldn't be better, right there. The only thing that we want to see from here is not a lower high. We want a higher high, ideally. And that doesn't have to happen right now. We can still pull back and do this. We can work our way up to our higher high. You know, it could be like that, still in this kind of trajectory. That'd be a really deep extension. But that's what I'm excited for, is this next attempt in the overbought zone. Once we get overbought on the 4 hour time frame, that likely will be the point at which we break out of this range here and where we can start to get excited about prices that are not just above $600, but approaching $700 and beyond. You guys, when we start talking about these numbers, this is when the great moment, the great, as they would say, anybody watch Halo? Does not watch Halo? Has anybody played Halo in their life? This is the great journey, okay? The great journey is about to begin. It was prophesized, except this one isn't a lie. This one's not going to cause massive destruction. It's going to cause massive liberation, right? We are, every single time that we are getting above $600, every day that we spend above there, we are giddy, we are excited, we are anxious for this move, this spectacular breakout of this lifelong multi-cycle historical trend that we have yet to perform. We just back tested it for support after the third time after consolidating here for months. We're ready to go, guys. Lots of volume coming in, right? A little pocket of volume here. People are making their moves, making their bets, placing their money in the right direction, hopefully, and things will likely escalate from here. When we're here right now at 566, okay? Going back to the 4 hour time frame. When we get overbought on the RSI, that will likely symbolize a breakout of this range here. When we break out of this range here, we are undoubtedly going to prices that are well above $600. And the potential there, you know, we consolidate whatever, the potential there is that in a short amount of time, we could be at $700 before you know it. We get up to $700, you guys. We're moving up. We get above these highs. We very well could be right now in the midst of this spectacular move that we've been waiting for years at this point. Years, if not certainly months. It's happening right now. And wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something if in a month, if in 2 months from now, however long it takes, 2 weeks, we pump all the way up here, I don't know. However long it takes. Wouldn't it be exciting? Just the thought that right now we're in the process of this move, right? It's like, wow, you bought back here? How did you know to buy back here on this move here, or overall? Or wow, you bought right here? This is all, it's the beginning. But in these moments here where it would have been a wow, you bought right there, it didn't feel like you were in the midst of this move. It didn't feel like it right in these little bubbles here, right there. But you were. And that's what I feel like that's what I'm trying to compare right now, is I think that we are at the beginning of something that's going to blow us all away and impress us all in a very short amount of time. My expectation overall is that we will see prices somewhere around $3,650. Maybe just below, perhaps just above, but something around this area here. Whether it's right at our all-time high, just below our all-time high, which I think will probably stop just below our all-time high, or we even go through it, which is also a possibility. I don't know. I'm not making a play off of this. I invite anybody to do it if they want to, right? Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but you want to make a play. Crypto's shit the bed for you. You don't have the gains, the returns you're looking for. This thing, man, is going to provide, I mean, anything from like a 4x to a 6x, maybe a 10x return. I mean, it could be a 10x return or more in the next 2 months. If you want to play that game, you want to buy here and sell there, don't let me stop you. I'm not going to play the game. Because what if it keeps going? What if it doesn't? I can just buy more and then inevitably it will keep going, right? I'm not worried about the short-term stuff. And yes, even this, as crazy as this is, we've been working our whole lives up to this point for Bitcoin Cash, talking about Bitcoin Cash, even though this is a lifelong endeavor that we have been preparing for as of now, this is still short-term stuff. This is still very short-term stuff. What if we go to 20K? That's still short-term stuff, guys. Think about it, right? Think about it. What happens? What happens to Bitcoin Cash when it gets above this high? What happens? You're no longer in a lower high trajectory. You don't have lower highs and lower lows. You have higher lows. So now you don't have the lower highs. You'll have higher highs. And you'll have higher lows. Now you will have higher highs and higher lows while Bitcoin's in a bear market. You will be breaking out and being a star shining example. You will climb from the top 10 to the top 5 while everything else is dumping or being stagnant, or at the very least not exciting at all in comparison to Bitcoin Cash. And the BCH BTC chart, which since February of 2025 has been in a complete tear of an uptrend, and it looks like it's just about to freaking lift off here. Like we're about to launch, okay? You're in the overbought zone. You look super strong here. What happens when Bitcoin Cash gets above this point? The whole crypto community, not the whole crypto community, anybody in the crypto community who has faded or thrown shade or disregarded Bitcoin Cash entirely, they are going to be forced to change their perspective. And if they don't, then they will be publicly acknowledged as somebody who's in denial. That's all it is. Because at this point here, when Bitcoin Cash gets above this point, if you're not bullish on it, if you're not seeing the bigger picture, that's your problem. That's a bias that you have that doesn't allow you to get into a proper investment. That's something that you have to work on personally. You would have never invested in this. You would have never made the money. You're gonna justify it by saying, the people who bought this just got lucky. They just got lucky. Yeah, a lifelong lower high breaking out of this trend. It's super obvious. We've been talking about it for over a year now, like years now. Yeah, super lucky. We didn't prepare for this at all. It was just an off chance that it happened. You get higher highs, higher lows. You're breaking out of this. You've got momentum behind you. You're climbing the rankings in a Bitcoin bear market, and your BCH BTC chart on top of all of that will, for the first time in its life, have both higher lows and higher highs as well. And I mean, technically, on a macro perspective, we'd still have that lower low. We'd have to come back down and find a higher low, but we probably do. We probably do, once we break out, find support back where we found resistance. And maybe even a little lower than that, where we found support before. We will have a higher low. This whole dynamic versus Bitcoin, BCH to BTC, is clearly changing. And for the people who are in denial, if you need to see this to accept that it's changing, or even this to accept that it's changing, whatever. But it's clear here that something's going on. Something big is going on. And if you want to be a part of it, if you want to revel in the gains, like we all have, even if you don't want the gains, if you just don't want the crypto bear market to destroy your portfolio, you need to be heavily influenced by Bitcoin Cash. You need to be heavily allocated to Bitcoin Cash. It's been holding up better than 99% of the cryptos in this space for the past 8 months. It's been outperforming Bitcoin for over a year now. Okay? And Bitcoin's been in a bear market since October. That's saying something, guys. If you're new to crypto, I don't know how to explain how big this is, but man, it is huge. on top of everything we've talked about, the monthly ribbon, we don't talk about this all the time. Man, there was a time where I talked about this every single day because I was so damn excited about it. This is phenomenal. This is crazy, guys. This, mark my words, if you ever see a scenario like this again where for years, for multiple cycles, you've had a downtrend and then all of a sudden you get a cross, you're going to be excited for 8 to 9 months as well on the edge of your seat. You're going to be excited because you're going to see what the aftermath of this is, guys. Remember, we were crossed down here. We were tight. We were consolidated, wound up. What happened when we let that loose to the downside? Look at how ferocious this move is. Look at how absolutely dominant to the downside this move is, right? You're all scrunched up and then you expanded in your ribbon. Just look at the ribbon right now. You expanded in your ribbon. You were crunched up here and then you expanded. Now look at the price action, okay? If we take that same price action, which this is not how you do TA. This is not a accurate representation of what's about to happen, but hell, let's just do it for funsies, okay? If you were to take that same price action, just from this point here, like in the heart of the ribbon, let's try and right here at the base of the ribbon to that low there, that price action there, you put it here, that takes us above $2,000. I thoroughly believe we're going to see a move that's larger than that. We're going to see a move that's much larger than that. It just hasn't happened yet. But I've got nothing else to say. This is another video of me preaching, I guess. Let's look at the daily time frame real quick. I want to do some indicator stuff. Maybe the 4-hour time frame. I mean, the MACD looks phenomenal. You guys, the 4-hour MACD, it looks phenomenal. Stochastics look good. RSI looks good. Daily time frame, phenomenal, super phenomenal. I mean, you guys, when the MACD crosses above the 0, that's when this breakout's going to happen. We're getting set up between now and the end of this month, or sometime in the beginning of March, for a fantastic rally. Mark my words. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'm very excited to see the coming days, weeks ahead. Take care. Bye-bye.